Today on the Morning Edition, the Petersburg Dan Sullivan is pushing back against the state's decision to remove him from the ballot in the Alaskan Senate race. We'll tell you what the courts have ordered and how it's moving forward. Plus, it's either expensive to find, hard to find, or worst case scenario, both. The Anchorage Assembly is looking into giving parents more childcare options. We'll show you how they're planning to do so. And later, look into the eyes of this dog and see utter betrayal. One dog had a glorious day at the ballpark, and this dog right here had to watch. Sometimes that's just how things happen. We'll take a look and see if he had his happy moment as the Morning Edition starts now. Oh my goodness, that might be one of the saddest faces I've ever seen.
I was sitting there looking at it. I was like, what dog are you talking? And then I looked in the back.
I know.
Because I was like, this dog looks happy that it's scarfing down something.
He wanted a treat too.
Yeah, sometimes
So
you just have to look a
sad.
little closer to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, we are waking up this morning. We've got those rain showers that continue as you head through the interior. You can see along the Steese Highway where we are seeing that light rain that is still with us this morning. Here in Anchorage and most of South Central, while we are waking up to some cloud coverage, sunshine will return as we head throughout the day. And we are seeing those temperatures this morning sitting in the 40s and the 50s for many areas of the state. Today is also going to be the final day of warm conditions along the slope. Starting tonight into tomorrow, those temperatures will begin to steadily drop. Looks like we are losing some of that radar data through the interior, but we're seeing a band of rain that's stretching through parts of the central and eastern interior down as you head through southwestern parts of the interior. So we're going to continue to hold on to this rain here for at least the next 4 to 5 hours for a good portion of the region before it does kind of fizzle out and we see that return to some sunshine in the forecast. We're also seeing the extent of that rain building into southwest Alaska as you head out towards Bristol Bay. This will stick around through a good portion of the day as well. Heaviest rainfall that we did see, though, did occur yesterday into early this morning. In some parts of the Susitna Valley, actually waking up this morning to some foggy conditions. Now, that frontal passage did lead to some cooler conditions. We're seeing temperatures as you head through the Copper River Basin sitting in the 30s and the 40s. In fact, just about 15 minutes ago, Glen Allen was sitting at 35 degrees. So we could see some localized areas of frost as you head through the Copper River Basin. But we are waking up to those 40s and 50s for many areas. And again, today is going to be the last day for fairly mild conditions along the slope as temperatures do fall the rest of this week. Across South Central as we head throughout the day, morning clouds still with us. And then as we head into the afternoon hours, we'll see those temperatures warming into the 50s and lower 60s with sunshine making a return across South Central. In fact, we'll see sunshine sticking around the next couple of days before rain showers do return into the weekend. Now, coming up in my full forecast, we'll have the latest on those wildfire stats. Yesterday was the most active lightning day this year. And of course, we got slow warming for many areas by week's end. I'll have those details in that 7-day coming up.
We're hearing from a witness to the deadly scene at Turnagain Arm over the weekend. This area is known to be challenging due to the board tide and currents. According to the witness who watched the search for the missing paddleboarder, the conditions were rough and dangerous. Troopers identified the man who died as 25-year-old Joshua Novakovich of Anchorage. Tom Kozad, an experienced surfer from Hawaii, says he was there with a guide to surf the board tide when he saw Novakovich struggling offshore.
So we were moving one way with the current, and the wind was causing an additional 1 or 1.5 foot wave to hit us. And it was like riding a wild rapid.
Kozad says people on shore used high-powered binoculars to keep eyes on Novakovich as he tried to paddle back. He says they thought the paddleboarder might make it, but the wind and current just worked against him.
He was paddling, and he just wasn't going anywhere. How far out was he? He was, I don't even know, distance-wise, maybe 1/4 of a mile, maybe 1/8 of a mile, But again, his paddling it wasn't doing anything. He wasn't going anywhere.
Troopers say Novakovich's body was recovered from a sandbar late Sunday. Girdwood fire officials say Turnagain Arm's board tide, currents, and standing waves make the area an extremely high risk. New developments this morning as an Alaska Superior Court judge has granted an emergency hearing in the case of a Petersburg man who was removed from the state's August primary ballot, setting an accelerated schedule as election officials approach a key ballot printing deadline. Judge Thomas A. Matthews on Tuesday approved an unopposed emergency motion from attorneys for Daniel J. Sullivan, Jr., who's challenging his disqualification from the primary. In a written order, Matthews directed the Alaska Division of Elections intends to file its response by 9 a.m. this morning and scheduled a status conference for 3 p.m. later today. The emergency ruling came a day after Sullivan's legal team filed a formal appeal in Superior Court. The appeal contends the Division of Elections violated Alaska law and the U.S. Constitution when it struck Sullivan from the ballot. We'll continue to follow this developing situation and bring you those updates as they become available on our website and mobile app. A major moment Tuesday in the Zarius Hildebrand murder trial. The Army soldier accused of killing his wife testified in his own defense. He told jurors Soraya Hildebrand shot herself, while, as Lauren Maxwell reports, prosecutors pressed him on why he never called 911.
Hungover times 100. Still a little drunk from the night before.
Zarius Hildebrand talking about how he felt the morning after celebrating his 21st birthday, August 6th of 2023. The same morning, Hildebrand says he discovered his wife Soraya dead in their bed.
She was like partially covered. I went to uncover her, and essentially the first thing I saw was the gunshot wound to my wife's head.
Prosecutors say Zarius shot his wife in their apartment after a night of partying, disposed of her body, then lied about her disappearance and helped in the search. The defense says Soraya shot herself, and then when Zarius realized she was dead, he panicked.
This is where the fear started to set in. I was hurt, and I basically didn't know what I didn't know what I was going to do.
The defense produced a note in which Zarius said he planned to commit suicide, but he never went through with it.
And I didn't want to kill myself in my apartment.
But when prosecutors questioned Zarius, he was unclear about what had happened.
How do you know that you didn't pull the trigger?
I don't.
Okay. You don't know.
No, ma'am.
You want the jury to believe that she did this to herself?
Objection.
Overruled. It's not up to me what the jury believes.
They pointed out he never called 911, but instead cleaned the apartment, put his wife's body in a trash can, which he dumped into a storm drain, then went to work like nothing had happened. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
Hildebrand said he wanted jurors to hear from him directly. Now, after 2 weeks of testimony, closing arguments are scheduled for today before the case goes to jury. Fairbanks drivers may soon get some relief after weeks of construction delays on the west side of town. This video from last week shows traffic backed up about 2 miles from the construction site to the intersection of University Avenue and the Johansson Expressway. Some drivers say they have experienced delays of up to an hour. The Department of Transportation says a cluster of projects along Chena Pump Road is causing the delays, but some of the worst congestion should clear up soon.
So where most of the congestion is at that intersection between Chena Pump, Chena Ridge, Dartmouth, and Geist, that, including the on-ramps, we're hoping to get wrapped up by this weekend. So that part of the project, all that congestion will be smoothed out, traffic will return to normal, and then we have a little bit of more resurfacing on the ridge, and then we'll start the roundabout.
The DOT says some work will wrap up soon, but construction in the area will continue into September. Troopers say their SWAT team was called to Fairbanks Tuesday for a motorist barricaded inside a vehicle. This was the scene near Wilson Street and 26th Avenue. Troopers say there is no public safety threat, but they were asking people to avoid the area. No other details have been released. NOAA has released new information surrounding the death of a 61-foot fin whale that arrived in Seward on top of a cruise ship's bow. The exam determined the whale was in good nutritional health and had plenty of blubber and muscle. The exam showed it was hit in the jaw, spine, and ribs. NOAA says plans are underway to tow the whale out to sea as soon as possible. More tests are expected over the next couple of months. The whale's death has renewed calls for slower speeds for cruise ships. Assembly members are considering a proposed rule aimed at protecting Anchorage's sewer system. The rule would ban flushing disposable wipes and certain cleaning products. Alaska Water and Wastewater Utility says wipes can stay intact after flushing, clog pipes, and damage equipment. Officials say that can lead to significant costs for labor, cleanup, and disposal. The Assembly voted to table the issue until a future meeting. Across Alaska, childcare can be scarce, expensive, or both. Now the Assembly is trying to remove some local barriers for providers with the hopes of giving parents more daycare options. In a unanimous vote Tuesday, Anchorage Assembly members approved changes to local rules for licensed childcare providers. The changes include allowing online training for some requirements and eliminating licensing and renewal fees. The idea is to reduce burdens on providers while keeping required safety standards in place. But for some families, the biggest issue is still cost.
It costs $1,900 a month, apparently, to provide childcare. Who can afford that unless you're making $100,000 a year? That is insane.
There's more work to do, and it's going to happen at the state level, so I'm looking forward to potentially attacking the state together, metaphorically.
The Department of Health and Safety says that these changes will remain within state regulation and will continue to require safety training such as CPR and first aid. Still ahead today on the Morning Edition, a new child care center is opening its doors this fall, doing their part to tackle the child care problems.
This classroom might be empty now, but not for long. Coming up, the Girdwood facility that hopes to give children a place to learn, grow, and play.
And we are still holding on to some rain showers across parts of the state, more so into the interior and southwest Alaska. I'll have more on what that means in the days ahead. But first at sunrise, 4:21 in Anchorage, 5:14 in Bethel. Your full forecast is next.
Welcome back in on this Wednesday morning. We are so excited. We've been waiting for this, although we don't see any bears right now. They finally have the live cams back up at Katmai, Brooks Falls right there, Aaron.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to the rest of the summer as the Brooks Falls becomes more populated with those bears. But as you're seeing this morning, a little bit on the cloudier side, and we are seeing some rain showers. And of course, yesterday was a very active day when it came to that thunderstorm potential. Heading into the interior for the Starry Fire, which was reported on June 20th. Now, this was a natural fire. It's nearly 50% contained, and it has been downgraded to a level 2 set evacuation. So that is some good news when it comes to that wildfire being just right around 50% contained. Now, when we're looking at the state stats as a whole, we're sitting at just around 100 active fires, 14 are staffed, and we're sitting at just over 18,500 acres burned. And yesterday, about more than 8,000 lightning strikes across the state. So we did see some brand new wildfires that did initiate through parts of the state. And we're still holding on to some rain this morning through Bristol Bay into the interior, as well as out towards Wrangell, St. Elias, and then some spotty to isolated showers to be expected today as you head out towards southeast. But as far as that rain, as you head into the interior, that's going to stay with us through at least the late morning, early afternoon hours. It is going to continue to kind of fizzle out as it pulls off towards the southwest. We are losing that radar data there in the interior, but that rain is still with you this morning. So if you live from Fairbanks northeast along the Steese Highway, that is where we're really holding on to that better shot of some of those rain showers. And again, that will stick around here through at least mid-morning, early afternoon. You can see how that pulls off towards the southwest by lunchtime. We're also going to be watching areas of the central and eastern Brooks Range, which will see some thunderstorm activity later this afternoon into the evening hours. So be watching for that. This will be the final day of those warmest conditions along the slope as temperatures do begin to drop as we welcome in your Thursday on through the close of the week. You can see much quieter in the interior over the next couple of days, but we will still keep some of those passing showers and, of course, yes, some more storms today and tomorrow through the Brooks Range. So be prepared for that. And while we can't rule out some showers as we head through the close of this week, nothing to be expected like what we saw yesterday with some of that widespread rain that built in across parts of the interior. Of course, here over the next couple of days, you can see again that band of heavier rain that's still with us this morning along the Steese Highway southwest as you head out towards Nenana. So we still could pick up an additional anywhere from about a quarter of an inch to about half an inch of rainfall within that band of that heavier rain to be expected. So we'll be watching for that as we head throughout the rest of today. Thunderstorms don't look likely across a good portion of the interior. Now, if you live through the western and southwestern interior, as well as in the Brooks Range, that's where you're going to see that better chance for thunderstorm activity. So we do have that chance for some rain sticking around through early afternoon. And then those clouds decrease, and we'll see that sunshine returning with temperatures warming into the mid to upper 60s. McGrath seeing that chance for some thunderstorms later today, 54 degrees in Utqiagvik, 64 in Dead Horse. And then as we head into the next couple of days, you can see those temperatures holding in the 70s as we head into your Thursday. We'll try to make a run back near 80 by Friday with storms to close out the week.
In Girdwood, parents say limited early learning space has led to wait lists and hard choices, but a new facility could bring some relief this fall. Danny Tompkins takes us inside.
Tomato, pickles, or pineapples?
Tomato, no. 3-year-old Pia is making herself at home.
Here's your tomato.
Inside a classroom that is almost ready for more Girdwood children.
She's a really, really active 3-year-old.
But for parents like Siraj Gottstein, finding childcare hasn't always been easy.
The children of Girdwood have really outgrown our really old building, and so we've had to have long waiting lists or not be able to provide childcare for everyone in the community.
That's why Little Bear's Playhouse,
welcome to Little Bears,
is preparing to open a new facility.
So I'll take you guys in through the front doors.
Inside, there are rooms for toddlers, infants,
On this other wing, we have our older children.
and preschoolers and pre-K students. The first thing you see when you walk through the doors is the gratitude tree. Now, each of these leaves or branches represent someone that made this building possible.
It just shows how much this building was needed and how much support this community has for this project.
Executive Director Rachel Byers says the classrooms are already taking shape.
As you can see, the theme in here is construction and transportation.
For parents, the new space is more than new walls and toys.
I feel just so appreciative and excited, and honestly, the new building and being able to have this resource is a little bit beyond words as a parent.
Little Bears has served Girdwood families for decades.
Stick them in the freezer.
Now, the new building will serve kids long after Pia.
I look at this stuff and it's like generations of kids will be able to be impacted by this. Here, hold your pickles.
Danny Tompkins,
Oh, you got the pickles. Dump those in.
Alaska's news source.
Nice.
Enrollment is now open. They plan to open in the fall along with the Anchorage School District schedule. Infant care will start in January 2027. A garden grown from grief. In the newest edition of So We Asked, Rebecca Palsha sits down with Misty Vanderweel, known as Alaska's Dahlia guru. Her story starts with unimaginable loss, the death of her son, and advice from her farmer father and father-in-law on how to keep his memory alive.
So we knew his life is not going to be, he wasn't going to be here my whole life. And so when my father-in-law told me that I could have something from him long after Luke was gone, it just kind of inspired me.
So We Asked is available on Alaska's News Source streaming services on demand and on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Roku. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's News Source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's News Source app.